Grown Folk Friday, y'all. Little FaceTime. Let's get it. What you say? What you say?
I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing. She makes me feel alright. She makes my heart sing. And when I'm feeling low, she comes as no surprise. Turns me on with her love. Takes me to
Here we go. Hold up.
Something to talk about. I was a rap to make a blind man believe in the boogie. And if you came here to move this evening, the boogie holler.
It's FaceTime.
Holler.
When you want me to come,
Call me.
when you want me to come,
Be around.
yeah.
Holler.
When you want me to come,
Holler.
when you want me to come,
Call me.
when you want me to come.
See, the thing about you that caught my eye is the same thing that makes me change my mind. Kinda hard to explain, but girl, I'll try. You need to sit down, this may take a while. See, this girl, she sorta looks just like you. She even smiles just the way you do. So innocent she seemed, but I was fooled. I'm reminded when I look at you, but you remind me of a girl that I once knew. See your face whenever I look, and you won't believe it, baby. She put me through. No. This is why I did you.
Welcome to Grown Folk Friday, y'all. Boy DJ Face.
Thank you so much, DJ Face. Always rocking out. And yes, I want to welcome you all to Grown Folk Fridays. VJ in the midday, y'all. Vic Jagger right here on Magic 102.3 and 92.7. Okay, so I'm always super excited. Okay, when I have a singer, songwriter, producer, actor, Grammy nominated, millions of albums sold. I have Tank with me today. Hi, Tank. How you feeling?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed. That's my response for everything today, because we can complain about so much and it's something always worse happening. So I just say I'm blessed.
We made it. I promise
Yes,
you. We made it.
Absolutely. Well, I want to jump right into it because I want to do something a little different. Okay. Because, all right, how you grew up in Maryland. I'm a DC girl.
Okay.
And when I was reading like your movie credits and all that, and I was like, oh, so pronounce your first name first.
Darrell.
Okay, so your first name is Darrell. That's how it's pronounced. But you already know DC, Maryland, VA. You know how we're going to say your name, right?
Durrell.
Like that, I was like, wait a minute, DC coming out. I can't call that man Darrell. It's Darrell.
Yeah, I'm so used to it.
Are you used to that?
Yeah, I mean,
hey, Darrell.
Elementary school, you know what I mean, and
yeah,
middle school,
yeah.
high school, but
it was a different situation when you got into Hollywood. You were like, oh, they're saying both syllables.
No, it's like I never adopted the DMV like lingo.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I would say shawty and luncheon and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would do all that.
Is you joning?
I knew what all of it meant, but I never like adopted it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing, it wasn't organic for me, So coming from Milwaukee, you know what I mean? I was like, what are y'all talking about? But I once I locked in and learned that that's just what it was, I just accepted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Durrell, hey, Durrell, Durrell. What's happening? You need me? What you need?
Right. So I think now there are two people in this situation, right? So now we have Darrell, and we also have Tank. And I don't think a lot of people know Darrell as much as we know Tank. We know Tank. We love the records, classic hits. I was just singing, please don't go. And so I'm like, listen, you hear that? I just wanted to do that for you, Tank. I had to, I had to slide that in. But so we know Tank. We love Tank. But Darrell is giving us a different vibe, a different side, because now you're having the acting come into play. You have different projects where you can actually be yourself. And I'm talking about your YouTube series, so we're definitely going to talk about that, with your family. But as far as acting, I think one of my favorites was Born Again Virgin.
Oh, wow.
I love that show. And I was so mad when I found out where it goes. I was like, what? It was an amazing show. And you did so well in that. In all the projects that you've done, was acting something that actually felt natural for you? Because I know it can be a different dynamic, but how was that? How was getting into that and the adjustment from music?
I mean, I had been acting since a kid, but you just kind of hyper focus on the thing that's working, and music was working. So, just kind of just hyper focused on that and tried to perfect that and get that to a place to where it would sustain me to venture out and do other things. And it just came a time where I was just like, I gotta really dive into this, or at least try my hand at it and see what I got. And so my first major audition was Dreamgirls.
I thought she was about to go back in the day. I thought she was about to be like, listen, I had tried out for 227, but it didn't work out.
No, my first
Dreamgirls, that's big though.
Because we were doing the soundtrack for it. I was part of the team that did the soundtrack, and we used to work with the director every day, working with Eddie Murphy and Beyonce, everybody. And I'm a fool, so I got the director busting up laughing like every day, like just my personality. I'm outgoing. And one day I came in, he said, "Man, you should audition for the role of Cece." I was like, "Man, I ain't got time for all that." And they were like, "No, he's serious. He really wants you to do it." So it came down to me and Keith Robinson. It was between us two for the role of Cece. Yeah, and that kind of let me know, that fueled me. That was like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. Like Eddie Murphy watched my audition. You know what I mean? Like it was like,
and how is that? That's a legend.
Oh, I mean, it's Murph. It's Murph. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like when he like, I'm sports. I'm an athlete. So when I see somebody real like that in the stands, I turn up. You know what I'm saying? I go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Right. But that was the first moment that I really felt like, you know what, I can do this. And then I just started auditioning more, and and then I started landing things, Born Again Virgin, a bunch of other stuff. And then, more recently I got the Lifetime movie that's coming out called Lust, that I'm a part of.
Right. What is it? The Seven Deadly Sins, TDJ.
Seven Deadly Sins.
Anthology. So tell me about the project, and tell me a little bit about your role. I know you can't like go all the way into what you got going on with it, but tell me a little bit about the role.
It's dope cast, man. Tobias Trevelyan, who everybody knows, really, really major. Kerry Hilston, who is like doing her thing. I mean, she's just really, really blossoming as an actor. She's just cold. And then myself, we're like the trifecta. You know what I'm saying? We're like the big three on Lust.
Talk that talk.
It's really cool, the dynamic between all three of us. You know what I mean? I've known Kerry for like almost 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like the dynamic between us, and then with Tobias, like he's an actor, like he's a thespian. You know what I'm saying? Like he's he
turns it on, and you're like, oh, okay.
He's the guy.
Let me get my.
So like, you want to go like that? Or that's you want to act that? Oh, you want to act that? Okay, all right, let's act that. So so we just had a great chemistry, a great bond, man, on and off the set. So the Lust, of course, I'm probably, everybody can probably assume that I'm Lust.
You're well versed on the subject.
I'm well versed in lustful things.
Lustology.
Lustology.
You should teach that course.
And it's a journey. It's a journey. It's a great story, a great lesson. And I think people are going to be really, really, really excited, man. Our director Star, she just won some awards for being for some things she's directed, and she just got on this set and she just showed out.
And it has to be fun, like working with your friends, like people that you're comfortable with, people that are not going to judge you. You don't have to like try to impress for real. It's just all love. So I'm sure that environment was like, it felt like home. Home.
Well, it's like walking into a set where everybody's formidable. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody knows that everybody's going to bring it. You know what I'm saying? That makes life easier. You know what I'm saying? When you walk into a set and it's some weak links in the chain, you know what I'm saying? That could make things a little challenging. That could make the dynamic a little weird, where you're like this. Right. Cut!
Here we go.
Here we go.
Did you guys shoot during COVID?
It's still COVID.
Well, I mean, at the height, like how I want to know how it was.
No, we just
shoot in that type of environment.
No, it wasn't in the height. We were just Atlanta's open. So
well, Atlanta been open. Okay, Atlanta really. We thought that y'all knew something that we didn't know down in Atlanta, because Atlanta been jumping.
Man, they popping. I walked into a strip club one day. I was like, where am I? How you feel like you're in another world? Like this feels like 2017. Like I go into a time machine, y'all are cracking in there. But the CDC has so many guidelines and so many things you have to do in order to have a set running in Atlanta. So like, we get tested 3 times a week. You know what I mean? Like we are quarantining. You go from the set to your room and back to set. Like ain't no whole bunch of, you know what I'm saying,
Ain't a
moving
lot
around.
going on, yeah.
Nah, it's tight. And then if somebody happens to, you know, contract COVID, they shutting the whole set down for like 14 days, and like it's not a game. But
that has to take a lot of discipline too, though. I would think it would have to take, because there's a lot of people who may not, who like, you know, I want to see my friend, or I want to, you know what I mean? Like that.
It just depends on the type of person you are. You know what I'm saying? And walking into this, you kind of know with the times the way they are, that things are going to go a certain way. So if you want to be part of this, then you have to be willing to operate based on the guidelines that are set before you, or don't take the job.
Absolutely. And so you're in, you know, you're well versed in the Atlanta area. Okay, you know all about Atlanta. Atlanta is popping. It's been popping, and the reality TV scene is popping there too. Mm-hmm. But would you ever consider doing something that would, because I know you don't back down from public criticism or anything like that. So I don't think that you would be worried so much about that. But if there was an opportunity for you to do something reality show wise, what would the ideal show be? Would it be more of like a music-based show, like, you know, putting a group together or something like that? Would it be about your family? Would it be about the business? What would you see for yourself in that arena?
Well, I mean, what we've done, I mean, which would be the only thing that I probably would do, is we created our family show for YouTube, which is Babs to the Bone. And I think
I love the name. Let me say that. The name is dope. I love that.
Thank you. I had to tell my wife on. I was like, babe, Babs to the Bone. She's like, what is Babs to the Bone? I said, Babs to the Bone.
Wait a minute. Now, if you would have came and said it like that, like, I probably would have been like, sit down.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling it at first. Yeah, it had to grow on her. But I wanted to show the family dynamic. I wanted to show it in a positive light. I wanted it to be encouraging. I wanted it to be, you know, something that people could look up to and look forward to, and get away from so much negativity and so much of let's create something for shock value. Let's you know, throw some unorganic drama into the scene. Like I just think that for us as Black people, like, we need those examples, man. Like, I mean, for our mainstream presence, for the height of our mainstream presence to be about the trap, like, I just think we need balance. There's not enough balance, you know what I'm saying, for our mainstream looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at the charts, if you look at the high 100 and you look at the top 20 and you read off all the Black artists, like, you're going to see where we stand. You know what I mean? In terms of how the world views us. And so we need that balance. And so if I was ever to do anything, it would be about family, man. It would be about love. It would be about the natural ups and downs that you go through as a family, with kids, with, you know, the outside kids, trying to blend the families, all of these cool things.
We definitely,
and at the end winning, you know what I mean?
That's the reality of a lot of situations, a lot of family dynamics. You know, you have blended families, and how does that work, and the things that happen within, you know, that blended family, and how you heal certain situations as well. But one thing I don't think I've ever asked an artist as far as family is concerned, because you have your family, you know, coming into the spotlight and showing, you know, the different dynamics of your household. How do you explain, or what do you say to your kids who are they're not on Tank level as far as like the spotlight, the criticism, they don't see any of that? How do you prepare your kids for the spotlight as an artist, and as, you know, on the level that you are?
Well, it's crazy, because like the kids are so smart now and in tune with what just used to be, you know, us getting light and us being stars and us getting criticism or praise or what have you. Like, now that social media is a thing, like, everybody has their own light shining, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Right. Everybody has their own set of fans. Like my 13-year-old daughter comes to me, Dad, I got like 700 on TikTok. Oh, they love me. You know, it's like,
they like me.
They love me.
I can't keep up. I'm not even gonna lie. I can't keep up with the dances. I'm like, why?
So,
when did I get here?
So everybody's experiencing, all my kids are experiencing their own bit of fame through their own resources. You know what I mean? Right. So, they're even telling me about my stuff. See, Dad, some of your fans, they're cool, but they're not, they're so in tune with it. Like when we were coming up, we didn't know what that star life was, or, or what it looked like, or what it represented. And my kids, they're kind of in it. They've been in it for a long time. So they're not impressed by me and and my stardom and what I do. They're like, Dad, you could have sang that a little better. Like they're
no, do they check you like that?
Oh yeah. I remember one time I did the Wendy Williams show, and I was a little sick when I did it, but I was like, I got to pull through, take a bunch of medicine and what have you. I took my 2 daughters with me in New York. And as soon as I got off stage, I was like, everybody's like, "Oh, you did it! We made it! Oh, you did, man! You didn't sound like you were sick at all." I was like, "I know, I did the best I could." And then I walked in the room with my daughters, and my daughter was like, "Little flat, Dad." I was like, "You know what?
You know what? That's what family is for. Family will humble you quick, okay?
Oh, they keep you on the ground."
Right. So you brought up, social media, and I always say it's just such a different ball game now, because you came into the game around what, 96? And
in the game, yeah. But as an artist, like my first entry into the game was 2000.
Okay, so yeah, all right. But even back then, social media was definitely not what it is now.
Nope.
And I think about the times when I used to go buy CDs, and that was how we connected with the artists. We would, get of course, the hip hop and the music magazines, and then we would go buy CDs and we would open it, read the insides, read the thank yous, and that's how you kind of connected with the artist. But now social media gives you a direct connect. And so I wonder, how do you love the idea of what social media has become as far as giving you a direct connect to your fans, but it also opens the door for haters too. But do you miss the times where your fans could just go into the store and just pick up your music, and it was just about the music? They didn't want to know what you had going on in your life, in your bedroom, with this person, with that person, what's going on here. Do you miss those days?
I do. I think the pandemonium, and the buy-in into an artist is completely different now, because like, if you wanted to buy into an artist, you had to buy into that project. That's sorry about that. You understand? If you wanted to buy into an artist, you had to buy into that project, that 12 songs, that 11 songs. That's all you had. And so you had to immerse yourself into that music, and the rest, we see a video here, a video there, video there, but the rest was in the imagination. You could only assume, you know what I'm saying? And if they came to your city, that might be the only time ever that you would get to see them. So you had to, you had to hustle up some money to get the
concert. You had
to really like, and now I think it's changed. Reality TV changed the game for everybody, because now people are like, the music's cool, but what do you like? Is he cool? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of dude is he? You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of girls he like? Like, what are you on? And so now the selling point, where music used to be the standalone selling point, it wasn't the standalone selling point anymore. It was like, I'll buy your CD because I like you as a person. You know what I'm saying? Or I like what you said about this subject, so I'm gonna see what else you got going on. Or I like the way you dress. Oh, you do music? Let me find this music. Like, music is such a byproduct now, you know what I'm saying, where it used to be the lead in terms of introducing you to people. So I do miss those days, but I will say this: social media gave me an opportunity to show people who I really was, because people didn't know who I was. People always see the picture of me with my shirt off, and I'm like,
you
know what I'm saying?
right.
With my
You're like, that's Tank fine.
That's all they knew, right? And so, And so the misconception about me was like, I'm this stuck up pretty boy with muscles that can sing. Like that's what everybody thought about me. And the way I found this out is because when I would go places and I'm like the host, you know what I'm saying? I'm like the life of the party. Right. I'm pouring the drinks. I'm making everybody laugh. Y'all want some more chicken? I got way more chicken. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're that guy at the party. Okay.
I'm that guy. And so people would be like, I'd be like, what's wrong? They'd be like, you're so different than what I thought you were going to be. I said, what did you think I was going to be? That. And they would say, we just thought you were going to be like so stuck up and into yourself and into your baby oil. I was like, no, I'm not.
Like you carry a little thing of baby oil with you everywhere you go. You in the club like this. Y'all know I'm Tank. Really?
And I was like, I'm a goofball. I'm so far from any of these things. Like the fact that people be calling me a sex symbol, I'd be like, y'all sure? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
But you know what? I can see when you say it like that, it makes sense that, you know, the music is not the only selling point now. And so that's why we see a lot of artists who do things for a viral moment, who do things like publicity stunts and things like that. Has it ever crossed your mind, like, I got to get the people talking, so let me just go ahead and do that? Or, you know.
No, and it's funny because it's like, I don't, people think, oh yeah, he's trying to go viral because he got a project coming out. I was like, no, I'm not. Like, if I say something, that's how I feel. Like, I don't say something to get a reaction or to make people like, no, I do what I do me unapologetically. Yeah. That's just me. You know what I mean? And I'm able to accept whatever conversation comes along with that because I'm me.
That's one thing I can say about you, saying no matter what has been thrown at you, no matter what you've gone through, good, bad, whatever, you address it head on. You're not afraid to talk about it. And that's one thing that I think a lot of artists kind of shy away from a lot of times. Like they're like, I ain't clearing up nothing. I'm gonna, let people think what they want to. And you're like, still let people think what they want to, but here's what I think about it. Here's what it is. Now you can go ahead and take that and do what you want with it.
Run with it.
Yeah.
Like I'm me. I am not. Life is good. What Future say? Life is good. I got red bottoms on. Life is good.
You can tell by the music, by you continuing to work and you putting out new music. And I'm gonna tell you this. I saw the video, right, that you posted. I think it was like your last Instagram post. And you were talking that talk, okay? You had yes, you were. You basically told these other R&B artists, sit down, push the project back, because what you got coming.
Just wait a week.
What you got coming is just going to blow everyone out the water, everyone away. Of course, you're going to be confident in your work. You gave us a little sample. Which I felt like, why would you even tease us like that, Zane?
I got another piece of tease I'm gonna drop today. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you give us a preview of the tease that, So no, talk about the new song. Talk about, the process in making it. Why, why Max? I mean, I know why Maxwell. Why not? You know what I mean? The inspiration.
It's it's a conversation because I wanted to take the hook and have a different conversation. I felt like there was a different conversation to be had versus the original song, from Kate Bush and then Maxwell covering that. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not gonna touch that. I can't touch the original because you can't follow. I mean, following Kate Bush was enough, but Maxwell did that so well. You don't want no smoke in that area. Okay, with Maxwell, let that go.
No,
but I was like, there's a way to make this hook current. to bring the subject matter to 2021. And it just hit me, you know, going through stuff with my wife, and I'm like, man, you got to understand that once you lose the emotional connection to a woman, you in trouble. Once a woman when a woman no longer cries over the things that used to make her cry, and now she laughs a little bit, okay.
You better be scared. I'm gonna just let you. I mean, you better sleep like this.
And you better sleep light. If you sleep at all, like, I'm gonna hit the gym.
Let's
It's
go
1
ahead
a.m.
and sleep standing up.
I got a lot of energy. You are in trouble. And
Got a lot of energy.
It's really that simple of a song. And I think more guys need this information, because women have been trying to tell us for years, like, listen, you know, you got me, I'm emotionally connected, like I'm gonna ride with you. But once this emotion cuts off, ain't no telling what I'm gonna do. And I can make your life difficult. You don't understand. A woman can really dig into the into the crevices of your world and tear that thing apart. Like, you gotta be careful.
Do you want some peace, or does your soul want a two-piece?
Yes,
okay?
right.
that is what's gonna happen. Okay. The song is called Can't Let It Show. The music video, I hear, is gonna be super.
It's just
body roll as material.
It's not body. It's not body roll.
We can't body roll.
No, this is an emotional song.
Okay.
This is very emotional. This is very.
I think it's your fault, because you only gave us a tease, so we was like,
Yeah, listen. And no matter what I put out after Win Week, everybody's trying to figure out how to body roll to it. And like, it's like, you know what it remind me of? It's like I was on the road with Genuine, and he had covered "Out of My Life" by Michael Jackson. She's out of my life.
Yes.
And right in the middle, 2 things for 2 years. He started body rolling. I was like, you're not supposed to do that, bitch. He's body rolling out of my life.
Body rolls are pretty much anything.
Anything. Body rolls.
You can definitely body roll to anything. So talk about the music video. You have Brandy Evans from Pea Valley, which is one of my favorites, and she did her
Brandy's
thing.
family.
Oh
Brandy's
my gosh.
family.
I follow her on Instagram. She's just amazing.
I'm so proud of her. Like, she's just a hard worker. Worker. She put in the time. She put in the work. And she is being rewarded for it. She is due everything that she is getting. And I was like, I need you for this. I was like, your face, your expression, like I said, everything about you, you're gonna say it the way every woman wants to say it. I need you to represent all women in this video. She's like, I got you. It's done. And I think people. I got my guy Taj to direct it, man. It's a very dope artistic take. What you never see, right, is that, you know, you think men are cool after the breakup. You know what I'm saying? Once a woman gets,
because that's how they portray it. Y'all act like y'all so hard. I be trying to tell people.
It don't be sweet.
Curled up in fetal crying.
It don't be sweet. I'm trying to tell you, I've been there. It ain't sweet.
Right.
But it's never shown, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, we kind of crossed that line of, like, you know, of making sure that you see the full picture, you know, what that looks like. So I'm very excited about that piece. That'll be later on.
Right.
Get you a date for that too. But Friday is the single, the world premiere everywhere. And I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I mean, and we have to wait, till summer for the entire project?
It says summer, you know what I mean? But you know, let me tell you something.
When
things
is
heat up,
feeling right,
when that water start boiling, you know what I'm saying? I get them noodles in there quick. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, if it needs to come sooner, in this world we live in, you know what I'm saying? Things can happen that fast.
Is it pretty much done? Is the project pretty much done? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. My guns is loaded. I'm ready.
So what are we getting with this project? Are you taking any risks? Are you going to give us some classic Tank, or
I think
a little bit of everything?
I think it's a lot of everything. And this was a moment for me to get back to classic Tank. Everybody like it's like, here's the thing about, like, you know, when you've been doing it this long, like sometimes you can just be known as one thing, you know what I mean, throughout your entire career. So for a long time, I was Mr. Maybe I Deserve. And then I became Mr. Please Don't Go.
Actually, I think you are still, because
What?
you too long,
You know what?
Body roll.
Body roll. That is not. So then I go to being the Mr. Please Don't Go. I was like, oh, okay, that changed. That happened. And then I go to being Mr. Winwick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's very tough to have you know, career defining moments multiple times. And that was 3 for me. And now I was like, ooh, let me get back to that emotional side, that heartfelt side, because I just hadn't done that on a level in such a while, because everybody wanted this sexy from it. And this right here, I think, is going to be another one of those career defining moments. This may be the biggest record of my career. You know what I mean? And that's happening at 45 years old. You know what I'm saying?
I love to hear that. I mean, because that is definitely what we love about Tank. And I think if you were to like come back in the game and it's like, here's that new Tank with Pooh Shiesty, we'd be like, now we love Pooh Shiesty. We love Pooh Shiesty. But we like, now wait a minute, Tank. Now what
hold on, Chan.
What we doing?
Hold on, Chan. You ain't so now I'm drugged. What you doing? Come on, Chan. Come on. You
Exactly.
smoking weed now? I'm in the video.
Right.
With guns.
So that's when we would be like, okay, so what is Tank going through right now in his life?
Midlife crisis.
Exactly. Like, we're still here, Tank. We're still fans.
Yeah, no, you know what? And it's like, as much as I'm tapped into the younger generation, I try to make sure, you know, it's organic. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not nothing forced, like Tank featuring Kodak Black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Why are you doing this? Like,
exactly.
Be a man.
You know, you have written for and worked on so many with so many legendary artists. I mean, from Beyonce to Dave Hollister to Jamie Foxx and Pitbull and just more. What is your process or thought process when you are working with, you know, other artists and their projects and songs? Do you take from like your pile, like, all right, I was gonna have this song for me, but I think it'll be a perfect fit for that person? Or is it just like a fresh start and you are just blank slate and you just start writing for that person?
Yeah, I'm a tailor. Yeah, I don't,
Okay.
you know, I'm a custom tailor. I'm not like, you know, I'm not like a store that just has stuff just sitting on the rack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make an appointment, come in. I got to get your measurements. We got to talk about your favorite colors.
Right.
We got to talk about your fabrics. We got to talk about, you know, all of the things that go into making your suit. You know what I mean? And then I'll lend a few suggestions based on my experience in making suits. You know what I mean? And things that I think that would work for you. But ultimately, you know, it'll be more your suit and more of your decision of how you want this suit to look and feel on you. And so it starts with me understanding who that artist is by doing my homework, listening to their music, watching their performances, and then ultimately, like, probably not even recording on the first couple of days, like just hanging out. Like, let's go grab some food. Let's run to the mall. Like, let's chop it up. What you been doing?
How you build a relationship. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
but that's how you build music. You know what I mean? Because music for me is life. You understand what I'm saying? Music is the story of life. And if I don't know anything about your life, I can't write any music for you. You know what I mean? And so that's how I've always made records. I think that's what's made me distinct and was kind of always kept me in a place to where if they needed a certain thing, they'd have to come get it from me.
I love that. They like, yeah, call Tank for that one.
Yes.
Get Tank on the line. Get Tank. And those checks are different from, listen. Songwriting check. What was your reaction when you first realized that when you first realized that the songwriting checks was a little different? What was your reaction when you first got that check?
I got my first ASCAP check for Maybe I Deserve. because people don't realize how much I produce. Like I produce all my music too, most of my music too. So I wrote and produced Maybe I Deserve. The song was 100% mine. And when that first 6-figure check came in, but Maybe I Deserve, I said, who
need a song? Let me now.
I said, oh, y'all done messed up. y'all done get it wrong. Y'all done get it. Remember, he said, should never gave you money. That was him. You should have never gave me no money. Oh my goodness. Oh, and that's when I learned I just learned the power of it. And then, really understanding and diving deep into producing and writing for other people. That's when I started working with the Underdogs. And we went on a run. We went on a tear. Yeah. And just we was serving hot R&B cakes to everybody. I mean, we just
talk about the
we just had hot cakes and hash browns.
You get a song. You get a hit. You get a hit. You get a hit.
Yeah, we was on a roll. And that really pushed me into that space where people were like, that's the guy.
That's the guy. I love that. All right. So I know, you got the new project coming out. It might be spring, summer, maybe spring, but we're looking out for it. Absolutely. Yeah. And so I'm sure you're on to the next thing. What else do you have coming up? What else you working on?
It's more acting, more stand-up for me. We got a movie coming out on Lifetime called Lust. Yeah. Starring Tobias Trevelyan, Kerry Hilston, myself.
April 17th.
April 17th. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. I'm excited for people to see this, right? And building more in that area. I think, me as an artist, I love it. I love what I do. I love music. It's dear to my heart. But I think me in the artist space, I'm kind of moving out of that space and more so into the acting and the comedy. I'm still an executive. I still got my artist. We still got Feather over at Motown. She'll be dropping soon on the R&B Money label. And some producers and writers and stuff that we're putting together. Like, we're still gonna do the music thing, but I just want to do it from a different space. You know what I mean? I want to oversee it. I want to give somebody an opportunity at the same thing that I've been blessed to have. And that's, that's 20 something years in this business, you know what I mean? Successfully. Yeah. So that's my offering back to this. I got to give it back. And then my next venture is, starting over, being a baby in this acting world, being a baby in this comedy world, and growing into a full grown man. Yeah. I want to keep learning.
Ever. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we will still support everything that you do. And of course, I'm wishing you well with all of your projects, and definitely following you in these social media streets.
Come on now. I'm going to say something.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Tank. And definitely we'll look out for the new projects. And of course, Can't Let It Show, the video, the single, and of course, the album coming soon as well. Thank you so much, Tank.
I appreciate you.
All right. Have a great one.
You too.
Grown Folk Friday, y'all. One time for Tank.
Girl, get face down for a minute. Let me go down and change your mind. I wanna take you to your limit. I wanna go where you don't. Make the decision, baby. You got that fire that I'm looking for, baby. I wanna be your blessing.
It's called I Don't Think You're Ready.
Get it over here now. Girl, take a seat, put some mouse on my tongue. You know I'm a freak, I'ma lick it while you come. I'ma do some things and you scream, oh no. You're right if you let go, baby. You know I can teach you lessons, girl, if that's what you want. Girl, you gon' get tested cause you think that you grind. I'ma keep you guessing, baby, stay on your toes. This ain't your profession and it's starting to show. I can teach you lessons, girl, if that's what you want. Girl, you gon' get tested cause you think that you ground. I'ma keep you guessing, baby, stay on your toes. This ain't your profession and it's starting to show.
Peace.